Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. Episode 11 of A Nation United, and after the disappointing end to our season in the last episode, of course, we move forward into our second off-season with the Swedes, and what could be another interesting draft. Last year went very well. We acquired pretty much all of our top prospects, and this year, of course, we didn't make the playoffs. We end up with the 10th overall pick, which could be huge for us when looking at having to trade up. Now, how the hell the Dallas... Are you fucking kidding me? Dallas finished with more points than we did. How did they get the... Dallas just pulled a Philly. Dallas just won the lottery. They had to have been lower than us on the... Wow. They literally finished with one more point than us this season. They just won the lottery. Oh my god. Well, we're starting off this episode with a highlight, aren't we? God damn. That is brutal. That is brutal. And I forget what I was saying. Last year's draft went very well. This year's draft, and getting the 10th overall pick, it could really help us trade up to be able to get Rasmus Dahlin, which is the goal. I know some people were a little bit concerned and might find it a bit boring that we could potentially end up with Rasmus Dahlin and Timothy Liljegren in the same series, but it is just kind of how it worked out. I mean, it wouldn't be an issue if, you know, this ended up being a Finnish series, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. As John Michael Lyles retires, not sure why his name popped out over the likes of Joe Thornton, Hossa, Zetterberg, Mike Camilleri, but it did. It did. So there you go. Quick look at some of the players that retired this season. Let's get to this draft. I am excited. We are doing pretty well draft pick wise. I just don't know who to expect on the board other than Rasmus Dahlin. So that'll be the big question. But let's get a look here at the board. Dahlin is a top 5 pick. Right. Now keep in mind, a lot of created guys here, you're going to be able to tell who they are, mainly because, you know, Hughes, Wild, Kachuk are created and it glitches out their nationality. But Rasmus Dahlin's a top 5 pick. So I'm probably going to trade up to the number 1 overall pick because I don't want to risk it. Joe Veleno might go number 1 still. You have Quentin Hughes, Ryan McLeod, Andrei Svechnikov. From there, another created guy, McIsaac, Zadina, Wild, Kachuk, Benoit Garou. And then from there, we get into the randomly generated guys, with the exception of Nando Eggenberger, Martin Fehervari. There we go. We have another guy inside the first round. Isaac Lundestrom. 6'1" out of Luleå. Alright. Not too bad. Anybody else? Evan Bouchard's there. David Lavin. I know this guy's German, but Hans Lich. Funny enough, he played for Linkoping. That's why we have him scouted out so well. Maybe he's German born, but he's actually Swedish, and we should take him anyway, right? No, I'm not doing that. We do have another guy. First to second round. Christian Soderstrom. 18 years old, from Orabo, or played for Orabo. Who else do we have here? Who else do we have for Swedes? Here we got another guy here, a defenseman, Mats Lundin. All right, played for HV71. Another defenseman, Magnus Edler, hell of a name, 17 years old, so he'll be a bit of a ways away. Quite a few guys, actually. Frederick Malmstrom. Nice. Oh my god, geez, we might not be able to get everybody here. Kalle Nilsson from Leksands. Holy shit, we might have to pick here. Another guy, Kim Clefbaum. Shit, there's so many more than I expected. Oh my god. After that, it kind of dies down a little bit. We have Matthias Nyquist, a power forward, who played in the SM Liga that we didn't scout at all. But that's alright. Quite a bit of a break in between. Matthias Sontag available. Ekman Larson. Kim Ekman Larson. Alright, not sure why Kim is the most popular name for the game to generate. Nicholas Olvestad, also 17 years old. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. I don't think we're going to be able to get everybody. That's the problem. Drew Shea. Two more guys here. Per Rensfeld, played for Linkoping. And then we have a goalie, Magnus Lindstrom, 19 years old, who played for Orabo. And he's definitely going to be a target of ours. We have another guy. I just want to look who's still projected. Nicholas Pyarvi played for Lexan. So we have a ton of options. The good thing is, of course, I can keep track of, you know, who gets picked. So I can at least know, like, oh, okay, we should go look for that guy. So that pretty much covers it. We have a lot of options. We have a ton of options. Now, Dallas, Edmonton, and San Jose are the top picks. Dallas doesn't want to trade their pick, so we're not going to be able to get it. There's no way. Edmonton, please want to trade your pick? Yes, you do. Okay. So, we'll be fine here. We'll be fine. We'll be able to get the number 2 overall pick off of Edmonton, and then from there, it will be, although they don't want our pick, and actually that value, despite it being the 10th pick, is a little bit lower than what I was expecting. But we'll be able to get this pick, and then if Dahlin goes first, we'll draft Joe Veleno most likely, and then look to trade him. But let's see, what can we do here? Who can we add to this trade that we want to get rid of, that we don't think will make it? Victor Stahlberg's a UFA, isn't he? No, we could tack on Victor Stahlberg. He wasn't terrible this year. Actually, low top 9. I hate low top 9 potentials. He was a 6th round pick of ours last year. Matthias Jacobson. I'm gonna put him onto this deal, man. I am. I'm gonna put him onto this deal. I mean, factor in, you know, the 10th overall pick and a 6th rounder, essentially, to trade up to the number 2 overall pick. I don't know for sure if this will go through. It didn't. But if we look at Jacobson, although that is a bit of a steal for a 6th round pick, we are going to have to give up some players here and there to make this work. Any guys that are still under contract heading... Yeah, actually, like, all of these guys are still under contract heading into next year. That's a bit rough. Eric Nystrom, can we get rid of you? I don't know what Edmonton's contract situation is. That won't go through either. All right, we might have to dip into some picks here. We might have to dip into using some picks. We're definitely not going to be able to get everybody that we want. There's no way. We're just not going to be able to afford it. But let's see. Will this go through? No, I'm not even close to making this work. So you know what? We won't trade directly with Edmonton. We have the 10th pick. Let's go talk to Montreal or Tampa. We'll try Montreal first, who want to trade their pick. So we'll trade with them first, and then we'll trade up with Edmonton. Much easier to do things that way. And let's see. For shits and giggles, can I just tack Nystrom, was it, onto this? The one with the really low trade value? Can I just tack Eric Nystrom onto this? No, Montreal would have too many skaters. Will that go through straight up? It was worth a shot because they wanted to trade it. It was worth a shot. Don't judge me. Let's see here. What can we do? What can we do? From this year's draft, I'd rather give up picks from next year. Oh, never mind. I already did that. I've already done that quite a few times. All right, will that go through? Of course not. What the fuck am I thinking? Of course it's not going to go through. I'm trying to be too stingy. The 4th round pick from the Islanders this year. That still didn't go through. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're going to miss out on a lot of these guys, and we're just going to have to hope that they're not that good. Simply put, we're just going to have to hope that a lot of these guys that we're not going to be able to draft simply aren't that good. That's close to fair value. All right, so we're going to have to give Montreal quite the bag of picks here to make this work. Ah, you sons of bitches. Oh, Montreal. Damn it. That's going to make things... That's really going to fuck things up for me. I'm going to have to go use an unsigned player. I'm not sure who we have, but the lowest value unsigned player is probably going to have to be Jacobson. It's going to have to be Jacobson. So let me take off all these picks. And just as a safety net, I'm going to try to tack on like a 6th round pick for this. And we'll see if we can get this to go through here. So let's see. Will that go through? Yes, it will. Probably could have gotten a little bit more back from it, but that is all right. We trade up with Montreal. Let's go talk to Edmonton and make sure that we get our hands on Rasmus Dahlin. That is the game plan here. And the good thing is, because I tacked on Jacobson, we will have these lower picks here to try and make this work with Edmonton, as opposed to having to give up another prospect. I am going to try to be cheap as hell here and not give up that fourth, but we'll see what happens. Edmonton not looking like they want to budge. I don't blame them, but it's worth a shot. You never know. And it didn't go through. All right, so we are going to have to give up that 4th round pick, but I mean, it's fine. Now, they are going to ask for more, right? Yeah, of course they are. Shit. All right, so let's go way down here to 2023. Will that go through? No, it won't. Shit, this is getting stressful. This is getting stressful. The Montreal 6 that we just acquired, will that go through? No, it won't. We could be in trouble here. I just realized we could be in a bit of trouble here. We might have to give up somebody if this doesn't go through. Edmonton, please. Oh, my God. All right, we're going to have to give up a 3rd. I'd rather give up the 3rd, you know, way down the line to make this work. We'll see if we can get this to go. And we'll also tack on the 4th this year. Actually, no, we won't tack on the 4th. Will that go through? Fuck. All right, we'll tack on the 4th. The Oilers are making this difficult. I mean, it is trading for the number 2 overall pick, but still. You fucking asshole. You just can't make it easy on me, can you? You just can't. You can't do it. Will that go through? Close to fair value. Fuck me running. I don't have like 5th round picks to work with here. That is the problem. So instead of the 6th round pick down the road, if we switch that to the other 6th round pick this year, this is like our last ditch effort. I need this to go through, please. You cunts. That's the only word for you. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's gonna have to be 2/3. So 2 3rd round picks down the road. 2 3rd round picks down the road. Fuck, I hate when it glitches out and it doesn't let you remove anything. Can I salvage anything from this draft with 2 3rd round picks being a part of the deal? Please, I beg you. That should go through. What? How is it? Wow, apparently that was even worse, even though I fucking took something off of the trade. Will this go through? Please. Please? Pretty please? Alright, 5th round pick. Actually, the 5th round pick might not be too much. Just let me run with the 5th round pick only. Motherfuckers. Alright, let's go that 7th round pick way down the road. Can we get this to work for the love of God? Oh, Edmonton. I wish you nothing but tragedy. Alright, the 5th round pick is too much. This is taking so much longer than I expected. So we'll go 6th and 7th over the next few years. Will that go through? Close to fair value. Will that go through? Close to fair value. Will that go through? You fuckers. Jesus. Yep. Yep, this is great. Edmonton. Yep. Oh, you guys are the best. Give me your 7th round picks, you assholes. Give me your 7th round picks. Thank you. We have the number 2 pick. I'm going to risk it with Dallas and hope that they don't take Dahlin. Thank God. Oh my God, they took Joe Veleno. Thank you. Thank you. We get to take Rasmus Dahlin. Now, he is listed as a Quebec Rampart. He's one of the players I think I put in the CHL. So we're not going to be able to sign him, much like in Bork's Battalion, or not Bork's Battalion, Jesus, no. Much like in Rebuilding Hockey Town. We're not going to be able to sign him right off the bat, but we have Rasmus Dahlin, a medium elite player. Now let me take a look at what else we can potentially do here. Now, it's 12 players down to McMillan. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, so about 17 picks down the road. So I'm going to go... I'm going to play it safe and see if I can talk to the Blackhawks. And they want to trade that pick too. So we might have a chance. This is probably where we're going to have to give up players, but that's okay. Someone like Bernhard, for example, who we just picked up. And again, he is a 66 at 22 years old, or not 20 years old. Sorry. Norrell, Johnson. Damn. The problem is I don't want to give anybody up. That's the problem. I don't want to give anybody up. I hate trading away potential assets. I am going to give up on Sundstrom. He's 25 years old. So I'm going to attack. I didn't... Of course, you have one contract spot open, but you don't actually. Oh, God. Alright, again, I might have to do something a little bit fishy. You know, not fishy, but trade. Yeah, I'm going to have to do multiple trades to afford this. Shit. You know what? We have Dahlin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let certain players go. Let's sim to the next pick, and then we'll go back and we'll take a look at who went where and whether or not they're worth picking up, rather than me giving up even more assets to potentially trade. So, Nilsson, I believe, was one of our guys, medium top 6, but I'm not too concerned about medium top 6. Anderson's I don't think was available. Like I said, I just want to make sure, as you get a look at the draft picks here, I want to see... So Lundstrom was medium top 9. I probably would have regretted... I wouldn't even have traded up far enough to get him. So I think we made a good choice there to not trade up for a medium top 9. Is nothing spectacular. Who else do we have here? McMillan wasn't ours. Keep in mind, if I miss anybody here that was actually eligible, let me know. And let me know what team they were on. Now, Soderstrom was available. Oh, yeah. I think we made the right choice, guys. I think we made the right choice. And as it is, even making this pick here, the 9th pick of the 2nd round, we might be looking at trading down. I'm not sure who's on the board. We have Lundin, and we have Edler. So when... Well, they are listed. When's our next pick after this? 16th. We might be able to end up with both of them. That's the hope. That's the hope. I was thinking of potentially... Like, if I wanted to, I could trade down, but because they're still listed in the 2nd round section, there's no guarantee. And we have 3 guys here we could go for. Lundin, Edler, or Malmstrom. All of whom have, I would say, decent potential. Magnus Edler, 6'3", 214 at 17 years old. And then Matt Lundin. I want all 3 of them. No doubt about that. I'm going to go with Lundin first. Yeah, offensive defenseman. He's higher. He's listed higher, although it doesn't always matter. Medium top 6 for him. All right, let's sim to our next pick and hope that no one was taken. Malmstrom was taken. Medium top 9. Again, I'm not too concerned about medium top 9. Again, you know, it is a decent potential, but like trading up to get players like that would have been a mistake. The right call was to just trade up for Rasmus Dahlin. So we will take... I was tempted to take 1 forward, 1 defenseman. We're going to end up with both of these defensemen. Let's take Magnus Edler with our next pick. He ends up being low top 6. So that's a little bit rough. That's kind of the issue here. That is kind of the issue here. Is what, as far as handling this draft, and we could learn a lesson from this draft and how we handle future drafts. Part of me wants to be scummy and restart this, knowing that some of these players are shit, you know. But we're not going to do that, obviously. In the future, what we can do though is all of our picks, we could pick hoard to the max, right? We could just keep trading down, keep getting picks for the future, let the draft go by, see who was selected that's actually worth getting, and then go out and trade for them. Because as it is, these guys with the 2nd round picks we just took aren't tremendous, and I can't imagine have too much value. So if we had traded these 2nd round picks instead, potentially for other prospects already on a roster, or other picks for next season, that, you know, it'd be a better way to handle it. I was tempted to do that from the start, but I had a little bit of hope for this draft. But I think this draft has kind of confirmed that, you know, I mean, yeah, you look at Edler's value, you look at Lundin's value. I think that would be the better strategy for the rest of this draft. So what I'm going to do, we have it in the 2nd, don't we? No, we don't. Okay. So let me take a look at the big board, see if there's anybody that I'm actually interested in. And if not, we'll just keep an eye on some other names. And if we see that they're actually worth getting, we'll go out and trade for them. Otherwise, I'm just going to trade down these picks. So Clefbaum does look like he'd be pretty decent, actually. Second to third round pick. We'll keep an eye on him. He might end up being medium top 9. So we have, and actually here, let me write this down just so I know the names to look out for. We have Clefbaum, we have Nyquist. I wish this pen would work properly. Who else do we have here in this draft? We have Sontag. There is that goalie that I was looking out for. I'm not sure he's coming right up, I think. So let's see. We have Ekman-Larsson available as well. And odds are none of these guys are going to be tremendous. Olvestad. Right. I am running out of room on this piece of paper already. It's already kind of full. Let's see. Who else? Who else? That goalie was further down. We have a Burgundy. If his name was Ron Burgundy, I'd break my rules. I would break my rules. We got Rensfeld further down the line. All right. And Lindstrom in the 5th round. Lindstrom. So that is our next target. And honestly, who I'll probably take with our next pick anyway. I'm not sure when our next pick is, but I am confident in just simming forward to it. It's in the 3rd round, obviously. But let's see here. So did we miss out on anybody half decent? And this is probably going to be the way to actually treat the draft moving forward. It might not be as exciting, I guess. But do we really want to end up with 2nd round picks that have as low a value as they do? Like I said, I had a feeling that might happen. As we lose Clefbaum, who's low top 9, so it doesn't matter. I had a feeling that might happen. You could kind of tell if you watch Rebuilding Hockeytown how I handle the draft after the first 2 seasons, where I just didn't make any picks, and that's because it's so unpredictable and just not reliable whatsoever. So what I'm going to do here actually is, because Lundstrom was a 5th round pick, I'm actually going to trade down. And you know what? Let me double check here who has the first pick of the 5th round. It's Carolina. So I'm going to go talk to Carolina about getting draft picks for next season. And like I said, I could potentially, like, you look at these values here, like, yeah, I could probably get some prospects out of this. But for the most part, I'm feeling all right. So let's see, what can we get here from the Hurricanes? The good thing is they do want to trade their 2nd round pick next year. The 1st round pick is probably way too... Actually, the 1st round pick might not even be out of the question. It might not be out of the question here. Let me see if I can work some magic here. It's close to fair value. We're going to be able to snag Carolina's 1st round pick next year. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Is we're going to be able to work some magic if, we work the drafts in the future like that. 3 3rd round picks, probably not guaranteed to be anything. 7th rounder as well, and we get that 5th pick, the 5th round pick we want. We also get their 1st round pick next year. Now, they're a good team with champion status, but that's still a 1st round pick, and we can do damage with that, like I just showed with how we traded up to get Rasmus Dahlin. So, I'm also going to trade this 4th round pick. It doesn't really matter to who. We'll go for Dallas. It's weird that Dallas... It wasn't Dallas. Yeah, they were in the Central, and they were really good. Why are they listed as a rebuilder? This game is fucking weird, man. Philly, actually, instead of Ottawa. So let's see. That was a 4th. So I'm just going to try to pick hoard a little bit. I know we're still technically on the clock, even though we already traded that pick. So that's a little bit weird. But let me see what I can get to go through here. That works. We'll trade down with Philly. Alright, so that pick is gone. And let's sim to our next pick. I still have the list of players that we aren't going after. We'll see if anybody's decent. And of course, with some of the picks I just acquired, we might be able to still work out a deal. So we're going to have to go all the way back to the 3rd round. We're looking for Nyquist, Sontag, Ekman-Larsson. Those are the next big 3 up. Olvestad was there. as well. Nyquist, low top 9. I'm not upset about missing out on that. Sontag, low top 9. Not upset about it. Ekman Larson was medium bottom 6. That's not terrible. But for a third round pick, you know, you kind of hope for better. So we'll look for Olvestad, Rensfield, and Lindstrom. Olvestad, Rensfield, not Linsfield. Olvestad, Rensfield, and hopefully not Lindstrom. Olvestad, medium bottom 6. Again, not terrible for a 4th rounder at this point. Who else? Who else? I'm so worried that a certain name is going to pop up when we don't want it to, but it's not. So Rensfeld is still on the board, and we have our goalie pick available. Low interest, but you never know. Magnus Lindstrom might be half decent. Let's take him. See how good he is. Low backup. You know what? For a 5th round pick, I'm not all that upset. That's fine. That's fine. What I do want to do, though, is see if we manage to scout any hidden gems, and we didn't. There are 3 guys left that we have scouted out very well. That's Rensfield, Gustafsson, and Hogan, who's not available. I imagine he played in the Swedish League. Yes, he did. So he played in the Swedish League, but he's obviously not available to us. So we can keep an eye on Rensfeld. From there, are there any other Swedes? We had Parjärvi. I'm not concerned. Well, you know what? Just to be thorough. We have Rensfeld. We had Parjärvi. Let me write that down really quick, just so that we know to keep an eye on him. There might be a hidden gem here. You know, those 2 guys, or at least for Rensfeld. For Parjärvi, you know, we didn't have him scouted out, so he might be half decent. But even then, if they have like high top 6, well, not high top 6, but like medium top 6 at this stage in the draft, they're still not going to have a whole hell of a lot of trade value. We have Hultstrand, Tim Hultstrand, who's actually not terrible, and I could have sworn ends up with decent value. He's 20 years old too. I'm probably going to look to take him. We still have 7th round. We still have picks in this draft, right? So Hultstrand is on the radar here. Any other Swedes? We might as well be thorough and look, right? At least in later drafts, it'll be much easier to scroll through all of these names. Right now, it's still kind of ridiculous, but got to do what we got to do. Oh yeah, all Canadians and Americans at this point, with the occasional Estonian. But let's see, is there anybody? And even then, they're probably not worth taking this far down the list. These are the names you'll never see again. Alright, so it's just really looking like Hultstrand as the last guy I'm interested in. We'll keep an eye on Rensfield, Parjärvi, and Gustafsson. So I can trade away any other picks here. We have a 5th, a 6th, and we'll keep 1 6th. So let's try to get some picks for next year. Who isn't that highly listed? We will actually go talk to Ottawa. Yeah, let's go talk to the Sens. So we had a 5th and 2 6th round picks. So can I get a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th next year? Is that going to work out? Nope. How about just the 4th and the 6th next year? I really thought that would go through. The value looked to definitely be in my favor. How about just the 4th and a 7th next year? I'm okay with that if you are. Beautiful. Alright, so there we go. We trade away some picks. We get a 4th round pick next year. That might become useful. We have that 6th round pick left that we'll look to draft Hultstrand with, to hope that he is half decent. So we'll sim to that pick. We'll go scroll back through and look at the players that we passed up on. But let me see. What were we? We were around 4? I don't remember if we were around 4. No, we were around 5. That's right. So, Rensfeldt, Parjärvi, and Gustafsson. Any of you going to end up being Rensfeldt, low bottom 6. All right, I'm not against missing out on him. Parjärvi and Gustafsson. Parjärvi, low AHL top 2. Oh my god. I guess just to be thorough, we'll go find Gustafsson. I don't think I have to worry about missing out on him. Actually, our pick is next. So yeah, overall, I am regretting a bit, not trading those second round picks and actually making those, because that definitely didn't work out. But lesson learned, as Hultstrand ended up being hot garbage. Hot garbage. You know what? Let's just send to the end of the draft. I don't care about Gustafsson. He's not going to end up being a gem. It's fine. We end up making 5 picks. Dahlin, the only star of the bunch. So that is kind of what I was expecting. It is disappointing to have the draft be that, that slim pick, that slim of pickings, I guess, for lack of a better term. But overall, we're still all right. We still have a decent core to this team. And the interesting thing moving in, of course, like I said, will be free agency, will be progression, and whether or not we move on from certain players. Like, it could have been the last season for Andre Burakovsky. Robin Lehner. I mean, Hogeberg jumped to an 83. We could potentially look at trading Robin Lehner and maybe bringing in somebody half decent as a top 6 player. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with our team moving in to next season. Re-sign phase-wise, we don't have too much to worry about. So the majority of the episode will be, yes, I know we have to re-sign William Nylander. We have all the money in the world. The majority of the episode will be the off-season. It could actually be a fairly quick off-season video. Time will tell. I'm looking forward to it, though. I hope you are as well. And guys, that will do it for this one. If you did enjoy the episode, of course, make sure to hit that like button to help support the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. And I will see you guys in the next episode of A Nation United.